Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, lovers of martial arts films, and fans of monastery gossip, welcome to today's episode. Shaolin Co. When Kung Fu Met Capitalism. Now, what if I told you that the head of China's most sacred Buddhist temple, the birthplace of Shaolin Kung Fu, is a man who travels by business jet, manages overseas real estate, poses with the Pope, and may have more bank accounts than rosary beads? No, this isn't a rejected Netflix pitch. This is the real-life saga of Shi Yongxin, aka the CEO monk, aka the boss of bodhisattvas, aka China's most controversial holy man. Today, we'll break down the story of how one man turned a 1,500-year-old temple into a global franchise with kung fu shows, hotels, IPO plans, and even a rumored Vatican soft power play. All while tiptoeing around scandals of sex, money, and mysterious monks in the night. Buckle up. And don't forget to do your breathing exercises. Shi Yongxin didn't start off as the Elon Musk of monasteries. Born Lu Yingcheng in 1965 in Anhui Province, a place known more for tofu than for temples, he came from a humble farming family. He wasn't born with a bald head or pre-installed enlightenment. In 1981, at the tender age of 16, he shaved his head and became a monk at, you guessed it, Shaolin Temple. Back then, Shaolin wasn't a global brand. It was barely a dusty ruin after the Cultural Revolution, when Red Guards decided that punching statues of Buddha was more important than preserving cultural heritage. But young Shi? Oh, he saw opportunity. Where others saw incense and calligraphy, he saw foot traffic and cash flow. Over the years, he climbed the temple's internal ranks faster than a kung fu apprentice in a training montage. By 1999, at just 34, he became the official abbot of the Shaolin Temple. And with that, the age of enlightenment was over. The age of endorsements had begun. Let's pause for a moment. You're probably picturing Shaolin monks practicing under waterfalls, leaping between bamboo trees, meditating with their third eye, right? Now picture this instead. Shaolin-branded energy drinks. Monks signing management contracts. A temple gift shop selling Kung Fu USB sticks. Talks of Shaolin Temple IPOs. Shi Yongxin didn't just commercialize Shaolin, he franchised enlightenment. He created a multi-pronged money machine. Kung Fu shows that tour the world. Paid training camps for rich foreigners. Shaolin cultural companies, plural, with registered trademarks. Partnerships with hotels, travel agencies, even gaming companies. Shaolin Temple became the McDonald's of Chinese spirituality. You want Zen? That'll be $39.95, tax not included. And while some old-school monks were horrified, Shi called it cultural exchange. Or in plain English, it's not capitalism if we were robes. Now let's talk about 2006. That year, in an act that made international headlines and Vatican neck swivel, Abbot Shi visited the Pope. Yes, the Buddhist abbot of the Shaolin Temple, wearing his saffron robes and PR smile, strolled through the Vatican like he was auditioning for the next season of The Young Pope, Martial Arts Edition. The Chinese government didn't seem thrilled, especially considering they don't even officially recognize the Pope. But hey, when Shi Yongxin does diplomacy, it's spiritual soft power with a side of capitalism. Was it a heartfelt gesture of interfaith harmony? Or a PR stunt worthy of a Louis Vuitton runway? Either way, the Pope smiled. The cameras clicked. The world gasped. And back in China, officials whispered, "Should we have approved that visa?" Now let's get juicy. What's a Chinese power figure without a good old-fashioned scandal? In 2015, an anonymous whistleblower named Shi Yongxin, which hilariously means uphold justice, dropped a digital bomb. The accusations? Buckle up. Shi Yongxin allegedly embezzled temple funds. He allegedly fathered children with at least 2 women. He reportedly sent secret temple staff to study abroad, but it may have been more honeymoon than hermitage. Screenshots of alleged bank statements, property lists, and salacious diary entries exploded online. The media feasted. Netizens dubbed him the Playboy monk. Shi responded like any spiritual master would. It's all fake. I've never touched a woman. Ah yes, the classic monk defense. The State Administration of Religious Affairs eventually said, "We looked into it. Nothing to see here." Which, in party speak, usually means, "We made a phone call. He picked up. It's over." Let's not be naive. In China, no one gets famous without the party's blessing. Shi Yongxin wasn't just running a temple. He was also a member of the National People's Congress, rubbing shoulders with officials and throwing out terms like cultural industry and nation building in speeches. The CCP saw Shaolin Temple not as a religious institution, but as a cultural export product. Like pandas, kung fu, or censored movies. Shi played the game masterfully. He supported party directives. He avoided political controversy. He talked about Zenicizing Buddhism, which really means making sure monks don't get ideas about freedom or Facebook. So while religious groups in China were being shut down or harmonized, Shaolin was thriving, complete with VIP guest rooms, conference centers, and 5-star guest treatment. Because if you're going to worship anything in China, it might as well be GDP. Let's not forget Shi's real estate empire. The Shaolin Temple under Shi's management acquired land in Hunan province worth millions, hotels, kung fu villages, and Shaolin-style architecture replicas. Rumored overseas properties in Australia, Germany, and the US. One plan even involved building a Shaolin cultural center in Australia that included meditation halls, performance arenas, and wait for it, luxury apartments. Because nothing says enlightenment like real estate speculation in Sydney. Shi may not own these properties directly, of course. They're under temple subsidiaries. But if a monk controls the board of directors, is he really that detached from desire? So what do we make of Shi Yongxin? Is he a revolutionary reformer, dragging dusty temples into the modern world? Or is he a capitalist in cassocks, preaching detachment while raking in donations? Either way, one thing is clear. The Shaolin Temple has become a symbol not of spiritual purity, but of spiritual branding. Kung Fu is no longer just an art, it's a show. Buddhism isn't just a path, it's a product. And Shi Yongxin? He's not just an abbot. He's a brand manager in a robe. But hey, at least he's not boring. And in a world of TikTok monks and billionaire CEOs, maybe that's the true enlightenment. If you can't beat materialism, trademark it. Thanks for listening to Shaolin CEO, the laughably true tale of Shi Yongxin. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave a 5-star review, meditate for 3 minutes, and consider launching your own temple-themed NFT project. Next week, the Dalai Lama, reincarnation, and the CCP's weirdest job interview. Until then, keep laughing, keep questioning, and always remember, even monks have mortgages.